Yeah, so I just discovered Plexamp and Plex Media Server for bitperfect playback of files from a PC to an iPad to a DAC, blah blah blah. It's like full circle, local files, and it's pretty good. It has Tidal integration, but because of licensing, they don't allow you to cast Tidal to this. But you can play Tidal on the music server on the PC, but it's not bitperfect. So may as well stick with the iPad for Tidal. Um, Groovy stuff. So whatever, just get into it. You can select visualizers. That's Plex. Plex. I've managed to get into Tidal via the iPad in Plexamp. I don't know how I got there because it's not in the main menu. It just said related tracks when I was looking at artist info. And then I've made a radio station in Tidal using my Tidal credentials in Plexamp. It's coming in a 16-bit. And I turn off my bit chopper, which fixes normal Tidal app 24-bit noise. And there's no 24-bit noise. So I've yet to determine whether it switches frequencies or not. Because I read somewhere that if you want to switch frequencies with the sources, that's even with files, you need to pay for it. So this is all free at the moment. And as soon as I find a 96 kilohertz track or something, I'll let you know. So I found a 96 kilohertz 24-bit as a file from my file library. It did switch to 24 in the bits, but it didn't re-sync the iPad output, which is the premium feature. So the free feature just keeps the sample rate locked, and hence it'll be resampling for the moment. But it is in the documentation that you get bitperfect if you pay. I'm not sure what the price is yet. Just a one-off payment would be great, and I don't like subscriptions. So I'm guessing that this 44-bit stuff is unresampled. You never know. Yeah, so it's a very strange player, and then it can give you Tidal random songs, Tidal related songs, but you can't look at your own Tidal library. It's just, you can discover it with all these radio buttons. And when you're playing a file from your own collection, it can then do relative Tidal tracks, but you can't find your Tidal library. So it's a very weird integration. Anyway, it's a good way to get random Tidal songs. And I've yet to pay for it. I'm just testing it. I am getting 16-bit from Tidal that's not polluted, which is an upgrade. And I'm pretty sure the resampling will be 1-to-1. It shouldn't mess it up on 44.1 tracks, which is 99% of the tracks anyway. I'm still trying to find a Tidal higher sample rate, which is what I'm doing now, just using a station. This is 44. It's normally like weird jazz or, sort of other kind of cutting edge people who like to use the higher sampling rates. So far I have not found one. Right, so it turns out you just have to be patient. I had to log out and log back in, and it's at this little top button here. You choose your files on your computer, or you choose your music on Tidal. So we got somewhere with that. It's a bit of a scroll. You go My Playlists and all your Tidal playlists up and running. Alright, so now I can find a 96 very easily. So here's some interesting news. Tidal's going to get turned off from within inside Plex, so that whole search for playing or looking at the bit perfectness of Tidal inside Plex amp was pointless. But I will be testing the non-pro 16-bit 44.1 material and 44.1 24-bit material as to whether there's any resampling, and because my library is, like I said, 99% 44.1 anyway, so I won't need to purchase a Pro Pass for any of the 96 files or 192s, etc, etc. So I can get my Plex server to do DLNA, and I get another program to play off it, so I might get bitperfect without paying the Plexamp. Well, it's all in an afternoon's work. I just got this other player. It wasn't Plexamp, it was Neutron player, and I played a 96 kilohertz 24-bit album from the car, and the car is now using the Plex media server with the DLNA turned on, and just bypassing the Plexamp player altogether to get supposedly bitperfect right now. We have 96 as the optical input, which is correct. We have 24-bit on the file meter, which is correct, and I'll just have to verify a 16-bit version. So I'm going back. Beastie Boys, no communication. Starts playing 44.1 16-bit, and we don't have 16-bit yet, but we do have 44.1. So this is the opposite. There's some settings I have to go into under this app, see if we can't get bitperfect. Be back. Found another player for iPad called 8 Player, and it does bitperfect straight out of the box for your local files in 96K, Bruno Mars, 24-bit. I'll tell you the limitation in a sec. Beastie Boys. This should be 16-bit 44.1, 16-bit 44.1. That's just the history of the 24-bit disappearing. Or is it? I have that on long history. So we might have a non-bitperfect player. Oh no, bitperfect, that was the... Oh no, it's not. So here's a player not doing bitperfect, just like the streaming apps do. And then I use my bit chopper. So it's probably got a dirty bit inside the 24-bit as well. Yeah, that's disappointing. The limitation was the free version only lets you play the first 5 tracks, and then you have to pay money to hear your own stored music. So I don't think I'll be bothering with that one because it's already got the noise pollution. Hold the press. I just found a very interesting setting here because it had the noise pollution. I went into music player and I found native formats decoder, and it lists MP3, ACK, WAV and FLAC, and so with that off there's no noise pollution in the 24th bit. When I turn that on, the native, I'm turning on native decoding, so now I'm guessing the iPad is trying to decode the signal, and then I'm going to change track just to make it active. And there comes back the noise on the 24th bit. and then I'll go back to repeat this feat. At least this gives me some understanding as to the problem with the streaming apps. They're trying to do this and putting dither in, and so Cobras would be doing this, and Tidal and Apple are doing it the other way. So now I'll play another track just to refresh it. The noise goes away in the history. Bam! So loading this app, which I now guess is bitperfect, which is now a contender depending on the price. I'll press that button. Pro use by how much? Everyone wants your money. $7.99 forever, and the other one's like $60 a year, and it's a bit more visual. That's the Plexamp. This one's only $8. I'll probably just keep using it for a bit on the free side and see if it's worth it. Where did it go? 8 player. So I'll close that. Go back to the 94. So now you can assume that it's doing the 24-bit without the extra dither added, because I have actually confirmed when trying to null the iOS noisy apps, that's Apple Music and Tidal, that 24th-bit dither does not null out of their tracks. So this is very interesting, and this is only for local files. So it's not the be-all and end-all of streaming bit perfectness, and Cubase does that already. But here's a file player using a DLNA server that can achieve bit perfect for $8 unlimited. I guess you could just get your folders and then put 5 songs in every folder, but I won't be doing that. Okay, another DLNA player for local network files on an iPad is VLC player. It's free. It has some very strange findings. It'll play something like this 24-bit as default of a 16-bit, which is bad. You can try turning it up and down. I haven't found how to get it bit perfect yet, so that's basically what I'm trying to say, and it's junk rubbish. So before I was getting this funny 16-bit hierarchy, but now it's just straight 24. I guess that one is not a go. Yeah, so that was the strange 16-bit I was getting out of VLC, where it's starting at the 18th bit and stopping, I've counted them, 16, stopping at the 3rd bit. Very interesting, and I can't get it to stay there like before. It just went back to 24-bit. The buttons are tiny, the navigation's crap. Like, this is your navigation. No album things, no quick menus, no nothing. So here are the DLNA contender apps. Plexamp on the right looks the best, organizes everything the best. They're about to lose Tidal integration altogether. They say they can do bitperfect, but I can't try it without paying. It's very expensive, over $200 to buy it outright. I could try it for a few months, I guess at $8-9. Now 8 player is very interesting, because I found a setting which basically converted the app to bitperfect, and it follows all the frequencies well and the bit depths correctly once you change that setting. And it was only $8 or $9 to buy outright forever, and I think it just limits you to the first 5 songs of every album. VLC, it had a pseudo bitperfect mode where it actually turned everything down by 2 bits, but it did not dither, and so technically if you're going to 24-bit pipe, it'll be bitperfect. I don't know if it means it's going to wreck 24-bit songs, so I'm not even going to chance it. The interface was crap. It was hard to navigate, and it's free, basically. It's almost bitperfect sometimes. Neutron player, couldn't find the right settings. No one else can. Documentation is crap. The playing experience is quite good. If you're okay with things not being bitperfect, it's not a bad player. So I think I'm going to have to try the 8 player for the $8 or $9. See if I hate it, and keep trying Plexamp for a while, and see if it's worth the hundreds of dollars they want for it. So I'm going to record the digital input of a 44.1 from Plexamp, playing a 44.1 16-bit, and we're going to check it first. 16-bit, no noise, no noise chopper. This actually records it before the plug-in chain, and syncing at 44.1, and then we're going to compare that. So I'm going to actually record it into here. Plexamp, I'm going to record there. We're also going to get the actual file, which is from the server, so the FLAC file, and see if they all null out, because I'm trying to ascertain whether Plexamp is, because they wouldn't bother to resample if they didn't have to, and by default giving you bitperfect. Because why would you bother changing something in it via DSP or resampling, and then trying to dither it or quantize it to 16-bit, because it does flip between 16 and 24. So it's like the why bothering part. But they have got a cap at 44, 48, and they don't go to 96. So let's see if we're getting free bitperfect at certain levels. Right, so now I have the Plexamp 4424, 4416, and the actual file 4416, 4424, and now I have to put them on 2 different tracks and line them up. I'm going to go and do that on the other console window at my desktop station. So for the actual file to Plexamp 24-bit song at 44.1. So we know that it doesn't like changing sample rates, but we're checking if they somehow defeated bitperfect in the 44.1 category. And I'm here to tell you that the inverted polarity on one of the tracks going to a group is a bit perfect, because it now shows 0 on the actual mixer. Infinite silence here. So the 2 tracks are going in, one's being inverted, infinite silence. The caveat was I had to add 1 sample offset on the right hand channel. So that's a tiny caveat, 1 sample to make it bitperfect. So I turned that off, and the right hand side was, going up and down, blah blah blah. I'm going, oh, not bitperfect, but then one side was. So then I just started playing slip times with the sample rate, sample addition on the right hand channel, and that's what we got. So undetectable, but technically, yeah, bitperfect with the delay that you'll never experience in your head. So that's some sort of file transport voodoo going on there. And now I'm going to try the 16-bit, but I'm pretty sure it'll be the same result.